Hi, my name is Ricardo Perez, and I will be doing a podcast style for my presentation today. And I'm here with my family, and my first question is going to be, where did your ideas about disability come from?
My ideas from disability came from personal and professional experiences. Personal because I have a brother with an intellectual disability, and professional because I also worked with special education students for 13 years, and I continued to work through my profession now, which is psychiatric social worker at a school setting.
For me personally, my ideas about disabilities came from a mix of personal experiences, things that I've seen within family or my community, and also information that I've learned over time in school and through my work.
And with me, it's growing up, going to taking the school bus to the valley, and we had to share our the bus with kids with disabilities. That's where everything started for me.
Okay, and my next question is, have you guys ever caught yourselves believing in specific stereotypes about people with disabilities?
Personally, I would have to say that that has not been the case for me, because I have mainly been an advocate for people with disabilities. As mentioned earlier, my brother has an intellectual disability, so I have really been an advocate for years, so I haven't experienced it.
Me personally, I don't have any stereotypes about children with disabilities because I work very closely with them in my everyday life, and I actually really care for them, and I also advocate for them for their needs and how I can help them be successful academically, socially, and emotionally.
Me personally, I don't find myself also a stereotype person. The fact that my brother also has special needs and disability, I've been able to work with him and help him out in certain things, take him to work, and do. Kids are very bright.
Okay, and with your guys' experience in dealing with kids with disabilities and having experiences with them, do you guys ever find yourselves viewing them with pity instead of viewing them equally?
Never. Never with pity. I think they equally deserve education, medical care, all the resources and services that anybody else can get. I think they also deserve them. It is only different because of the accommodations that they may need, but never pity.
I can agree with that because I'm very empathetic with kids that have disabilities because I see the things that they struggle with that to some of us can come very naturally, and they need a lot of extra support, a lot of specific accommodations with socially and academically. So I'm very empathetic, not exactly feel pity for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with both of them as well. I feel like I'm very understanding the fact that the kids are very happy, and they bring lots of joy also to different in different aspects of life.
Okay, and do you guys ever feel uncomfortable when you guys are around kids with disabilities or have to deal with them or have conversations with them?
I don't feel uncomfortable because I've been exposed to children with disabilities for so many years. I think on the contrary, I feel very empathetic with the caregivers or, with the parents or adults that are with the children, especially when I see them having difficulty. Like, I find myself wanting to support or to help or give any strategies or tips to any caregivers and parents in learning how to help students with special needs.
I personally haven't felt uncomfortable, but I can see how for some people who haven't been worked closely with children with disabilities can feel that way. But due to my experiences and work, I can actually know how to approach a child with disabilities, and if I see them out at a store or at a restaurant, I'm understanding of what they're going through, as they don't have the same way that they can express themselves as we can.
Just to add to that, yeah. So yeah, I don't feel this. I feel like I'm very also understanding the fact that when you see kids with special needs, the different types of behaviors. Wanting to give them their space or whatnot. If I have to interact with one of them, or just like I was saying earlier with my brother-in-law, having to deal with him, you gotta be real patient. And I felt very comfortable being around them.
Okay, and this question is directed to my mom and my sister. So you guys that work in a school, do you guys notice a lack of resources or training when it comes to dealing with kids with disabilities?
Lack of resources, I think there are many. When we talk about the lack of resources, I think there's many resources in the school setting for children with disabilities. However, I think that now we're facing very difficult times in which it's impacting the school systems, in particularly special education. Now with students having to go into regular classrooms, not the teachers, even though they receive training, I feel like it's very limited. Like back in the days when we would think of special education, it was very specific. Let's say, for example, a student with Down syndrome, but now in this new era that we have more knowledge, there's a lot of like autism and ADHD that we identify and we deal with. And I feel like now it's more difficult because I see that teachers now consider special education when a child is having behavior challenges. They immediately want to label them as special education. So I feel like there needs to be more training in that aspect too.
In my case, I would say that I definitely see how much resources are offered to children with disabilities. That looks like having BIs, having the in-class support, taking them out to give them speech therapy or occupational therapy. So I definitely see a lot of work being done within my school that I work for.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you guys for, again, helping me with this project and going through this presentation with me. So yeah, thank you guys.